match you in every way.
No, no, that's not fair.
It's the probabilities are literally like zero. But what you can do is find somebody that complements you, and what we're after, right? We want somebody that you don't need somebody that's just going to follow you around and just literally just be at your beck and call. What you want is somebody that will be at your side, your second in command, your king and queen, whatever the analogy it is that you like to use. You need somebody that helps balance you out. Because as a guy, one of the things that we're kind of programmed to do is to be very assertive, very aggressive, very forward, very just forward thinking, always in the future, always trying to solve problems, always thinking about the next problem that's going to come up and how we go about solving that, whatever the case is. You need somebody that helps balance it out because that can get exhausting.
This is a conversation between friends.
None of what is said here should be taken as legal advice.
We are not experts in any way.
Take what resonates and leave the rest.
What is up, everybody? This is Mike, Shots of Info. Welcome back. The topics for the day on foundations, we got making long-term relationships work, on fitness, blue light and sleep, and on finance, Elon's big investments on bitcoins, and other update news as well. So let's get it. You are the man on the relationships. How are you making it work?
Oof, it's a hard question, man. I don't know, dude. Sometimes it's just drugs, other times just other hookers. No, I'm kidding. So no, man, like, again, we've talked about it in the past in terms of like, the three things that we're usually looking for in a relationship, right? Genuine desire, respect, and the other person having a purpose of their own, right? So they're not kind of just waiting around for you to tell them what to do with their life. So going more with that, one of the things that you have to be good about is actually satisfying those components for the other person as well, right? You need to have genuine desire for them. You also need to be respectful of them, and you also need to have a purpose. And usually that last part, the purpose part, that's where you're going to find that the balance with the relationship, right? Because again, we've talked about it in the past as well. Us as humans, and us as guys specifically, we like variety. And sometimes if you're not careful about being disciplined and diligent with the way you live your life, you have the wandering eye, right? A cute girl catches your attention and whatever. Most of the time, most people don't pursue anything, right? It's just a cat or a watch and go. But sometimes maybe you're not doing anything with your life and you're kind of just bored, and that's where you start, actively pursuing things outside of your relationship. Or other people start coming onto you from outside the relationship, and rather than stopping that, you kind of just let it continue because, well, you're not the one pursuing, right? It's just happening to you, so it's just easy. So, in situations like that, you gotta have your shit together and understand like how everything kind of fits into place. But before I keep going, what are your thoughts?
I don't know, man. The longest relationship I've been on was 2.5 year-ish. And this was a long time ago.
Baby. You were a baby.
I was a baby. I was immature, I guess. But from all these times, that what I have learned, all the reasons why a lot of my when I start dating doesn't work out is because of either it's not really about readiness. It's just not the right partner or not the right timing. Like she can be the perfect girl, but if I don't know. Okay, so tell me about this. Every time I start dating somebody, as soon as I don't like something about her, or like we have an argument, or maybe not even an argument, it's just something that I see she has different ideals, different like observations about future. It's really good to hear that. But time to time, I start setting expiration dates.
Uh,
So I said
yeah.
like, oh, there's an expiration date. And
Boom.
I feel like that goes to my head, and I'd be like, I don't really put energy to make the relationship work anymore because I know it's gonna end soon. So why bother to pursue something that it's not gonna work out at the end? But now, from what I heard, though, from what like I've seen around, of seeing like my parents are still married until this day, or like my sister's marriage. I think I mentioned this on the Saturday edition. It's all about commitment. Well, not commitment. It's all about consistency. You and your partner. So the little habits that you have, the details that you know make, that you trying to make it work, and it's also you wanting it to be part of it. Because if you're not okay, so if you're the guy and you put your energy and focus on the relationship, but the woman is not there, then it's never gonna work. Or if it's
No, of
the
course not.
vice versa case, never gonna work. So
It's not going to work if both parties are like that, right?
exactly.
One or the other or both, right? And there's something that you mentioned there, right? Like the moment you start seeing a flaw, boom, you set an expiration date. And then that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy because you're just waiting for the moment that she does something like that again. And then you're just gonna ghost her or just stop talking to her altogether. And therein lies the problem, right? Because most people do that. And there's nothing wrong with that because if you don't really want to be in a long-term relationship, then
Right.
obviously you're going to look at these flaws because you're going to find the reasons to not be there. And that's perfectly fine, right? It's up to you as an individual, especially as a guy, right? Because that's the only experience we can talk from. You need to know what you want because the moment that you're clear on that, then you can kind of put the pieces together of the puzzle. Um, you're not going to find anybody that's going to perfectly match you in every way.
No, that's not fair.
It's the probabilities are literally like zero. But what you can do is find somebody that complements you, and what we're after, right? We want somebody that you don't need somebody that's just going to follow you around and just literally just be at your beck and call. What you want is somebody that will be at your side, your second in command, your king and queen, whatever the analogy it is that you like to use. You need somebody that helps balance you out. Because as a guy, one of the things that we're kind of programmed to do is to be very assertive, very aggressive, very forward, very just forward thinking, always in the future, always trying to solve problems, always thinking about the next problem that's going to come up and how we go about solving that, whatever the case is. You need somebody that helps balance it out because that can get exhausting. And I know from personal experience that gets really exhausting because you can never take a break because you're always on. So you need somebody that'll help temper that. You don't always have to be on. So
I completely agree with you about, there's never going to be the perfect partner for you because ultimately you will start falling or you fall in love when you getting to know her and you eventually want to be in that relationship with all the flaws that she comes with, or like she wants to be in a relationship with you with all the flaws that you have. So it's going to be the same case for mutual. I understand that. The one thing that I'm saying is that okay, shit, I lost my train of thought. But anyways,
the one thing you were saying.
the one thing. No, I think for a long-term relationship to work, it's definitely has to. Ultimately, you guys have to have similar values.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%.
Because you guys can be different, different personalities. Opposites attract. That's a very common saying. But you cannot have different values. So like it all comes down to the values that you have as a person. And you're right. I mean, we do have like the purpose that we want to go for. And sometimes that's one of the things that I look for. Like, will this girl be willing I want to travel the world. I want to travel like and get a lot of experiences and just visit new places. Does she like that? Or can she get to like this? But if
Yeah.
she doesn't have those values that exploring, she just wants to get like a 9 to 5 and just go to work and that's it. That's a turn off for me. Like, I'm sorry, but
I would find that that's more of a guy thing than a girl thing. I mean, I'm sure you'll find girls like that, but oftentimes you ask a girl what she would like to do, and a lot of the answers are usually going to be she wants to travel. But yeah.
really,
Yeah. You haven't
no.
come across that? Well, I mean, you're a CS major, so maybe you come across a lot of women that are very just career focused, very critical thinking, very just analytical with everything that they do. That makes sense. I'm like that sometimes, a lot of times actually.
Yeah, you're like that a lot. Nah, but one thing that I'm saying that when it comes to long-term relationships, it's never like a given. Like you don't know when you start dating somebody, that's not a given. Like you start learning and you want to be with this person as you get to know her. Like maybe like within 6 months, within a year. That's when after the honeymoon phase. There you go. After the honeymoon phase, that's when you start actually shit getting real. That's when
Yeah, that's where you start seeing the flaws, right?
yeah, and you unconsciously start making plans and utilizing the word we rather than I. And that's kind of scary to me, not gonna lie. I've always been like a very individual person, independent. But I don't know, it's scary.
Yeah. So that at that point, that's one another thing that you have to find is that kind of individual or that other person that when you start saying the word we, you guys end up becoming a unit, and you have to be comfortable with that person being another extension of who you are, another manifestation of what you could be, right? In the same way that you go out into the world and you guys are, hypothetically speaking, you're married, you will represent her choice in a partner, and she will do the same when she goes into the world. So you want to make sure that you're picking the right person for those circumstances. Let's see, there was one other thing that I wanted to mention here. I forgot.
Running out of top ideas, man. Oh, I'm sweating. This topic is heat.
Woo! Bringing in the heat.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would just say, damn, it's right on the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember.
In the meantime that you think it through it, all I gotta say is that in life is gonna come that one person that you will eventually want to settle down.
Got it. Boom.
Oh, you're welcome. I helped you remind you.
Thank you. So yeah, there's a saying that goes, there you go. I just said again. There's a saying that says a relationship is built around three things: sex, companionship, and building a family. So I would say that if you're trying to actively pursue a longer term relationship, those three things need to be compatible with you guys, right? The sex needs to be compatible because that's the only person you're going to have it with. Companionship, because obviously you want a partner for life, and a family, because sex will eventually lead to you having children, hopefully, unless there's any issues there. And if there is, then that's something else that you guys are going to have to resolve if you want to stay together with this person, despite the fact that you guys can't have a family, right? Because that's an issue for
There's
people.
alternatives. There's adoption, but then there are people who, like, I have met people who, like, they don't want children. I remember working in a hotel. I came across with this couple. Actually, his name was Michael as well. They were very sweet, and they got married like very late on their ages. They have experiences. They have do all this sort of stuff individual, but by the time they got married, they didn't want to have children. So I guess that's another option as well. And you're going to find that partner that understands your reasons for not wanting to build this. Maybe it's because I don't know what it is, but
I mean, like, listen, a lot of times the reasonings are, this is a cruel world. It's hard to raise people. It's hard to raise children. You don't know what's going to happen if they're going to be born with this dysfunction or any abnormalities, right? Diseases, cancers, anything like that. And that's one of the things about having a family. That's a risk, and that is a chance that you don't know how that probability is going to go. But that's why you got to be with the right person, because you have to line up and sync up in that wavelength. Because otherwise,
it's a yin yang. As cliche that sounds, that's a relationship. If it's meant to work, it will work, and you guys are gonna put the effort and the energy to make it work. But if you,
I would say that, but I would say more of like, if you want it to work, you will make it work, as opposed to saying if it's meant to work, because there you kind of leave it up to chance if it's going to work. But if you're going to put in the work to make it work, then obviously that's where you have more control. So in that sense, you need to make sure that this is the person you want to make it work with. And
Right.
Nothing is guaranteed, right? At first, this person seems like that the person that you want to be with, and then maybe later on they're not. Whether
Wait,
that be because they change or you change. Go ahead.
so you telling me that you make your destiny and destiny is not there?
There
Or you
could be destiny.
oh shit, yo, we should talk about destiny. Let's write that down.
I got it.
Cool.
It could be destiny, predetermined destinations. But I would say if it is all predetermined, then try to make it as much in your control as possible, because that's the only thing you have control of, what you do.
Yeah. Well, my point was that, you both had to put the effort and energy to make it work and want to make it work. Because if you want it, you're right. You're gonna make it work. But that is true. Like, always remember that a relationship is between two. So, or three if it's poly, or four, I don't know. But a relationship is whoever is in that relationship. It has to be a give and take. Like, it has to be mutual.
And with that, we can use that as a segue to a fitness.
Oh, yes. Go ahead.
Boom. Let's take a look at this. If you want to make it work, if you want your fitness to work, you're going to have to put in that effort, because it doesn't matter how much you kind of dream about having good fitness, a good body, good physique, or good health. It's about the work that you put in, right? Because we can all want things, but it's up to you to put in the work to get to where you want to be. So let's jump right into the topic that we have for fitness. What do we got?
I'm gonna work for that. Wait, what? I'm fucking lost. Anyways, let's jump to fitness. Blue light and sleep.
Right. So
Take it.
Before we even begin, what do you think the connection here is? We've talked about it a little bit in the past. What do you know?
From my understanding, from my experience, because I spent most of my day in front of the fucking screen. It can have a huge effect on your sleep. Well, I don't know if it's like directly with sleep, but I know there are some health consequences when you.
What do you feel? Don't even talk about the health consequences. What do you feel on a daily basis?
I feel stressed. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like sometimes people irritates me. And if I don't go outside, especially, honestly, I don't have. Well, actually, no, I do. I sometimes cannot sleep right away. So usually I wait until the last minute, until like literally my eyes are falling down, like really tired. And as soon as I get to my bed, I sleep. But if I were to set on a schedule, for example, before I used to go to sleep around 11-ish, like 10, 11-ish. This was like pre-pandemic. Yeah, I used to go to sleep early. But anyways, now that I think about it. And I used to like sleep and boom, that's it. Because I would come from outside or whatever. I wasn't spending as much time in front of my screen. But nowadays, lately has been the case. I've been up until like 12, 1 a.m. Because I just got a lot of shit going on. And get to my bed. I do sleep, but I don't feel like I sleep well. Because I wake up tired. I'm not gonna lie. Actually, yeah, I wake up tired. And whenever I'm like waking up, I'm just like, okay.
You need that coffee away, right?
Yeah, I have to drink coffee in order to energize myself. Another thing too, about midday, I feel tired. If it's like 2 p.m., trust me, I want to take a nap. And actually today I tried to take a nap, but I couldn't take a nap. I was just laying down for 5 seconds. In my head, it was like, yo, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. I was like, fuck this nap. I went back to here.
Boom.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Right there, man. There you go. So that basically entails all the issues that blue light has with your sleep, right? Stressed out, can't sleep, just having a lot of anxiety. And obviously, you have the stress of all the shit that you have to do on a daily basis in terms of work and school. But that all gets worse when your sleep is shitty, right? Because you can't wake up and feel rejuvenated. You still feel the same as you went to sleep yesterday. Or for some people, it could be even worse. So yeah, one of the big effects of blue light is the fact that it mitigates the production of melatonin in your brain. And that is a hormone that kind of makes you feel sleepy before going to bed. So with that being said, that's usually why most people have a tendency of having trouble falling asleep, especially if they're on their computers or they're going to bed, or they're on their phone watching stuff on like Netflix, whatever, just stuff on YouTube, just chilling in the living room, whatever the case is. When you're in front of these screens that emit this light and the production of this melatonin is being blocked, it kind of just extends that period of time of you actually needing to go to sleep, because your body's actually physically feeling tired, but that there's a disconnect there where you're not getting the correct triggers to actually want to go to sleep. And that's why usually most of the time what ends up happening is that it gets to like 1 a.m, you instantaneously fall asleep because your body's literally just about to fucking shut down. So that is why you need to make sure that when it comes to blue light, you're practicing the best things possible so that it doesn't affect in this way. Because maybe right now you can manage it because you're so young, but push this out for another 5, 10, 20 years. That's going to be really detrimental to you. That's going to start affecting your immune system. That's going to start affecting your hormones, your overall hormone levels. It's just going to make you drowsy, stressed out, anxiety ridden, and basically just make you the really shitty version of yourself.
No, definitely. I completely agree with that, because like I said, once, like before, it did not affect me as much as it does now. Because before I would sleep, but I usually just be on my thoughts, write it down, and just knocked out. Now there's not even that works. For example, if I were to go to sleep right now, well, right now it's too early, but like if I were to sleep like around 11-ish, I wouldn't be able to sleep. Even if I write down, even if I try to sleep, think about sleeping. And lately I've been, I kind of don't use my phone that much anymore. So I usually just leave my phone like on my desk right here. Don't spend too much time on my phone on the bed, but still I wouldn't be able to sleep. But still, like, I think all the blue light that I intake during the day is affecting me ultimately when I go to bed. But yeah, it's crazy. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I need to cut it off.
So here are some ideas for you. For you and for everybody listening.
Mm-hmm.
So there's 2 ways you can go about this. You can either try your best to block it, or what you can do is supplement. So when it comes to blocking, what I would suggest is within that last 1 to 2 hours before bed, try the best that you can. I know that it's difficult relative to your school and your work, but try to eliminate technology from your vicinity. So if you're in, then try to just completely eliminate it maybe within that last hour. And what you're gonna do is replace that with things that don't use technology. So simple things like reading a book or doing some yoga meditation, some yoga practice, doing some nighttime routine in the bathroom or whatever, right? Like some grooming, like we talked about in the past. Mm-hmm. Or maybe just playing a simple game, like a simple card game, or maybe playing on a chessboard, something that just completely takes you out of being in front of a screen and just getting blasted with this light. That's one. The other way is to supplement with the hormone that's being blocked, which is melatonin. And you can get that at any supplement or vitamin store, right? Usually you want to start with the smaller dose just because you don't know if, so for some people it could be different. Some people it doesn't affect them. For other people, really small dose is just enough. So you can supplement. Usually starting off with like 2 grams is pretty good. And then I think it scales all the way up to like 15. But, start small and scale if you're not really feeling too affected by it, and see if that works, right? And that will take care of like 80 to 90% of your problem.
I guess I definitely do need to those. I think I'm gonna go with option 1. I don't like to put any extra supplements on my body that don't require it.
I mean, like, it's natural. It would be the same as like taking the magnesium or the potassium like we've done in the past. But,
right.
You can do it as a gummy as well. So it doesn't have to be like, a hard pill or anything. But whatever works, man. If you can manage to, organize your schedule in such a way where within that last period, that last hour.
Mm-hmm. No, I definitely. I think the night routine, I think that's something that I've been missing out in my life, because I have a morning routine, but not at night. I never thought about like creating one. But I think it has a lot of importance as well on my daily life. And I think that will have like more improvement also in the long term. So I will work on that. I will keep you guys updated on my routine. You still haven't done your morning routine, bro. Jeez.
Well, I mean, I still haven't got out of bed frame, bro. So if you're gonna see that my morning routine is to put up the bed against the wall.
That's tough. Anyways, I think there are consequences for the blue lights, believe it or not, and that's why it's not recommended for you guys to go to sleep with your phones next to you, because that's just not it. Most likely, if you have TikTok, you're gonna spend the last hour of your day on TikTok, which is not Gucci.
But here's one last point. A lot of people like to say, like, "Oh, I need to have my phone next to me in case of an emergency."
No, you don't.
Right? Listen, there was a point in your life where you didn't have a phone, right? So it's not necessary that you always need to have a phone next to you, right? You used to have a landline where the phone was in the living room, and you used to go to sleep in your room without the phone. So figure out a way in order to get that. Put your phone, your iPhone or your smartphone in the living room. Put a ringer on it, and make sure you block any notifications that are not phone calls. That's it. And yeah, what are they called? Old clocks, analog clocks that don't emit any light, and just put that in your room if you need an alarm. You don't need to have your phone next to you as an alarm. That uses like what some people have, like 10 or 15 alarms set, like in 5-minute intervals, like one for 5, one for 5:05, 5:10, all the way up until 6. You don't need that. Get up.
Yo, we're living in the future. Get Alexa or Google. Hey Google,
That too.
set alarm to 8 a.m.
Tomorrow at 2 a.m. Set.
Damn.
You already said 2 a.m. You bugging. Anyways, I'm gonna change that later. But you just get on. Honestly, that's my alarm. Like right before bed, if I need to wake up a little bit earlier, I set my alarm to like 8, 7, and that's it. That shit wakes me up. Honestly, we live in the future, man. Come on, it's 2021. You're talking about analog clocks.
I like it, man. Although I have trouble using it because it can get a little annoying, but whatever.
True. All right. Let's not make this too long. Let's jump right into the news. We got Sugar Daddy Elon dropping $1.2 billion in Bitcoin.
Wow.
It was 5?
1.5 billion.
Oh, 1.5. Yeah. 1.5 billion on cryptocurrency. What are your thoughts?
Bitcoin. It was just Bitcoin.
Oh, it was just Bitcoin. Yeah. What are your thoughts?
Well, with that, I think that just solidifies that Bitcoin is going to become an actual currency that people will start using moving forward. The whole point of Elon buying Bitcoin, or Tesla, it wasn't Elon, Tesla, was because moving forward they're going to use that as if people pay with Bitcoin, they're going to use that as a service, or they're going to use that as a monetary service or a format. So it just legitimizes Bitcoin, and I feel like this is now going to open the floodgates to more companies to buy Bitcoin and really start propping up the prices as we get through 2021. So yeah, I think it's just good stuff now. I think there's no more dips, or the dips are not going to be as aggressive anymore.
Absolutely. Well, by the end of the year, last year, 2020, we already saw like big investment firms like setting an eye on Bitcoin, and even JP Morgan set a rich price. What do you call it? Set a price for like Bitcoins, maybe reaching up to 135K, and so like making competition to gold. And we are living on the future. So cryptocurrency, Bitcoin specifically, can become more, and it's becoming more and more what do you call it? More credential?
Accepted. Yeah, credited and accepted.
More accepted as well, because as we see.
Give me 1 second.
Go for it. I'm just gonna keep talking anyways. As we see new generations coming to play and also learning and getting involved, we can definitely see a lot of future. Now, Bitcoin broke out to all-time highs, taking nearly 45K on the news. Tesla paper gains today were over 190 million. Just by that investment, they already made 190 million. If it sold the coins right now, so if they were to sell the coins right now, they will have just make profits of 190 million. I'm gonna pause this because this is weird. All
I
right.
completely forgot I left some water boiling and it completely just finished boiling. I was like, what the fuck is that smell?
Damn. So so it seems like if Tesla were to cash out right now, like sell Bitcoin, they will have a profit of 190 million.
Mhm.
$190 million, just like that.
Yep.
But yeah, now is it sustainable though? Because I was looking into this a little bit earlier this morning, and it said that Tesla might drop just because Tesla has someone around 50 or actually $5 billion. I'm not sure if it was $5 or $50 billion on assets, like already that like money that a company invests. If you guys not aware, if a company is profitable, they take those profits and they invest on other assets. Now it can be within the company or it can be outside the company as well. So like buying other startups, even on like funds or like the stock market, or now you can see cryptocurrency. So is it sustainable for Tesla? What do you think? Because Tesla also had a nice jump in the morning, but as we saw through the day, it started dropping down.
Yeah, man. When it comes to Tesla, like, everybody's doubted it at one point, and then it's beat all expectations. It has these like ridiculous runs and rallies. So, the question is, does Tesla warrant this value that it has right now? I don't know. And to that end, I don't know if it's a sustainable thing, a business model moving forward. But it's worked out, and the company is still developing. And one of the things that people tend to wrong is that Tesla isn't just a car company, right? It's an energy company, and the whole point of Tesla is to just disrupt the energy industry and try to create more sustainable and fuel efficient forms of energy, specifically dealing with solar, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I heard recently they're going to get into the HVAC systems, which is the heating and cooling units, house it. So to that end,
yeah, that's
I don't know where it's going to go, but yeah, looks good.
And right now, energy companies are like really hot because it's global warming. Get it? It's a joke. But anyways,
and Biden has a really big plan with it, right?
Yeah. But anyways, so every major index closed at fresh highs, all-time highs actually. The Russell 200, 2000, the SP 500 have both rallied higher in 6 consecutive sessions. We're going to see how big they can hold, because there are talks that we might be on a bubble, and the bubble is about to burst. The biggest bubble that we have seen in like a century. Okay, energy
we were in a bubble. Go ahead.
What's up?
No, I said that we were in a bubble pre-pandemic, and then the bubble burst, and then we suddenly got into a new bubble. So let's see what happens now.
So energy, like I was mentioning a few seconds ago, was today's strongest sector. XLE is already up 13% in this month at February. Financials and technology both gained more than 1%. Utilities was the only negative sector. Other news, I don't think so. So I lost my money. I didn't really bet it, but I did lose. Who won it? That book, I cannot pronounce the names. It didn't on the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah, I don't watch the Super Bowl. I don't know.
Anyways, the Chiefs didn't win it. That's what I care about.
No, so you put a bet on the Chiefs winning?
Nah, that's what I said on Friday. I was like, yo, the Chiefs are winning this, but they didn't. But anyways, I didn't watch it again. I didn't watch it, to be honest. I just knew that they didn't win. But anyways, guys, that was it for today. We will see you whenever I see you. Deuces.
Peace.
What the is we doing?